Formula One leaves the summer break and heads over to Zandvoort as well, a beach resort to kick us into the second half of the season. Just 10 races remain then in the 2023 campaign. Max Verstappen has a chance to equal the great Sebastian Vettel and Michael Schumacher with 9 victories in a row here this weekend. Going after a week later with the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, the last of the European races before the flyaways begin with Singapore and Japan. Then it's a sprint race in Qatar back on the calendar, and the United States, Austin, Texas. Then it's Mexico, the last sprint race in Sao Paulo, before under the lights for our Saturday race at Las Vegas, and the season rounds out on the 26th of November in Abu Dhabi. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads on 314 points, well clear now of Sergio Perez on 189, who is only 40 points clear. Fernando Alonso in third on 149. Lewis Hamilton is closing him in though, 148. Then it's Charles Leclerc and George Russell level on 99. Carlos Sainz is 92 with Lando Norris on 69, Stroll on 47 and Esteban Ocon on 35. Piastri on the second page has 34 points, followed by Gasly on 22. Albon has 11, Hülkenberg 9, Bottas on 5, Zhou on 4, Tsunoda 3, Magnussen 2. Still no points for Sargent. De Vries no longer in the championship, but Daniel Ricciardo also no points so far. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way on 503 points. Mercedes on 247. Red Bull double in the Constructors' Championship ahead, a real milestone, winning every race so far this year. Aston Martin has dropped back to third on 196, now just 5 clear. Ferrari on 191. McLaren have 103. Alpine, with not finishing the last couple of races, on 57. Williams and Haas level on 11. Alfa Romeo on 9 and AlphaTauri only on 3. Let's take a look around this circuit. Zandvoort in the Netherlands, a 2.646 mile circuit, 14 turns, elevation changing up and down, 3 bank corners as well, and one of the best circuits on the calendar to return to Formula One. Get a good launch at the last corner of the banking and hurtle down towards turn number 1 of Tarzan. 8th gear flat out, hit the brakes on the line about 70 metres to go. A long sweeping double apex right-hander which tightens towards the pit exit. Turn 2 and 3 fall together as well, and now into the banking. Take a low line, let the car pie if you need it. It's not going to compromise too much on your overall lap time. Now coming through the dune section as well, really get the car up to speed as you take several parts of the track flat out. Lift up the brakes ever so slightly, drop down 2 gears down to 6. Full throttle now, drop down 5th gear, flick the car into the right, then back down 5th, 4th, 3rd, flick the car in once again and get back on the power. Turn 9 and 10 now. Hard on the brakes, to the left, double apex again, light the power and then open up the DRS zone as well. Continue with the power down towards the chicane, another heavy braking spot as well. Have to tarmac on the inside line as well to stop gravel coming onto the circuit. It's very tight, twisty, slow, stoppy section. Now it's all about the banking, the last corner here at Zandvoort. Get a good entry into the last corner and then boot it hard. Don't lift up the brakes once, keep the car to a low centre line. More degree there at the last corner there is at turn 1 at Indianapolis. Across the line, and that is a lap of Zandvoort. everybody, and welcome to a very wet Zandvoort for the qualifying hour for round 13 of the 2023 Formula One campaign. Rain is here, and it just cancelled the Formula 2 sprint race we had half an hour ago. It hasn't improved that much. Now we are expecting to go in ready for the action here for the session. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi. Megan Burge will be here soon as well, and Jess will be in the pit lane for us. But Omi, the conditions not improving that much. A lot of wind, a lot of rain, and I'm expecting at least a delay to the start of qualifying, maybe even a further and further delays. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The rain, absolutely terrible. So there will definitely be some kind of delay. I'd say maybe a 10-minute. It could. I would say. I would definitely say the delay could increase. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting to see what actually does take place. But the weather not looking good, so I think we're going to definitely have some kind of delay to the session, and then we'll just see how it goes from there. But let's hope it's not a big delay. But I do think we'll maybe get qualifying for a bit, but it depends for how long though. So I think it could be a very stop-start. Maybe we don't complete Q2 or Q3. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's the amazing thing of Formula One. It's where anyone can still take pole. Anything is possible. We're going to be in for a brilliant qualifying session, hopefully.
Let's check in with Natalie.
Conservative than the guys at the back who will, or on the cusp, who really want to have to stick the neck out.
Okay, well, last preparations then ahead of qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere. It's up next.
Okay, well, that wasn't really great from Natalie Pinkham there. I was told that she would be doing a little bit of an introduction, but track temperature 16 degrees, air temperature 22. Track temperature 22 degrees, air temperature is at 22. There's a lot in the air right now, Omi, and I don't think we're going to go green straight away. I would at least think a delay, especially after the barrier repair took so much longer than we expected with F2.
Absolutely, you could see cars losing it, and it makes the session even longer. So really, there isn't any point. But have you come up with? Have you managed to bring a lot of food to the commentary box and snacks and drinks?
I haven't actually. You know, I've
got lots. I've got lots here for these delays.
I've got half a glass of Coke. I think that's going to have to keep me through. But Megan can nip out and get me some snacks as well throughout the commentary. So
yeah, I've got quite a bit because we also have Porsche Supercup after this, don't we? And then also I'm kind of stuck in this commentary box all the way till about the night as well. So
yeah, we get little breaks, don't we? A little bit of a few breaks.
No,
not much, but a few that we will happily take and have as well. Just getting everything set up. You're seeing right now the race control messages. We've lost TweetDeck, you see, everybody. So we've got a replacement for you with the F1.com blog. Practice 3 down, quality next, as you can see on your screen right now. That's pretty much an interesting run of the conditions of what we saw earlier on. And I think the practice 3, it was just about okay, but coming into qualifying, the weather's got worse. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how much they can hold it through.
absolutely. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how they hold it. Hopefully, cars are not aquaplaning, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start it. About after 10 minutes, we still get.
Oh, we've lost Omi on the audio. Can you hear me? No, we've lost Omi.
I can hear you.
Oh,
there
hello.
we go.
Hello.
What I did was accidentally just managed to accidentally disconnect the lead. So that's not very clever, but hopefully it's going to be a good one. But hopefully we don't get any red flags. But it's time.
Here it comes then. Stand by for the qualifying hour from Zandvoort. on hard. Faintly we'll see the C3 tyre compound if it does start to dry up though. Well, the waves crashing against the beach there. There's a few people out playing as well, but it's cloudy. 16 degrees temperature, track temperature 22 degree, 86% humidity, 4.3 km/h wind speed. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi. Megan Birch will be here in just a few moments' time. Jess Ball is down in the pit lane for us. No Josh T this weekend. He is at Cadwell Park watching the British Superbike Championship. So, Omi, we'll start with you. No sign of a delay from anything on race control just yet, so we should get okay. Rain has stopped for now, but we've seen it all day. It comes and goes as it pleases here at Zandvoort.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's actually now gonna create a bit of chaos, because if we're gonna get underway straight away, it might be dry in the first few minutes, so Q1 might just be fully decided in the first few minutes if the rain was to come later on, because that's how it's changing. So I think it could make it a bit interesting. I think everyone will need to be on the circuit at all times, and I think everyone will need to definitely be rushing out there straight away, just in case if the rain comes down later on, so you already have a lap in there as well. So yeah, I'm expecting a few big hitters going out as well. I think maybe I think we're all hoping that Verstappen could be one of them, but that's unlikely. But you can already see a queue at the end of the pit lane, so not really too much of a surprise. Everyone really wanting to get out there. Also, Josh, could we quickly get a refresh on the TV pics as well, please?
Sure thing. Jess, you're down there in the pit lane as well. You're keeping an eye on everything. Loads of cars out there looking like on intermediate tyres to begin with.
Yeah, it's kind of like a changeable crossover phase. No one knows which tyres to go on right now, and here in the Netherlands it's going to get quite crazy. But it's about who makes the most of these conditions, because it's going to be very, very treacherous to start with. But hopefully, for our sake, it's going to dry up later on. Thank goodness, by the way, we have no sprint race, because otherwise I think it would have been even more chaos. So, yeah, I didn't think Zandvoort should be a sprint race anyway, but there we go. So we are about to get started. No delays, woohoo. But lots of cars are eager to get on the circuit.
So, all set then, with 48 seconds to go until the green light goes on at the end of the pit lane. Lewis Hamilton getting in. Looks like intermediate tyres. Got bright sunshine now coming down once again. You just can't make it up what's happening here at Zandvoort at the moment. It just keeps on changing.
Gonna be hopefully a very interesting session. The rain's been going and coming. The crowd still have been absolutely electric in the grandstands, and they're all gonna now get to see qualifying, and they're hoping that this man who we are now watching, if you are synced up with us with the TV pictures, can take pole position, Max Verstappen.
It's going to be a crazy qualifying session. Everyone's going to be out there in intermediates. It's going to be changing every single second. Are you ready? Are you steady for an unpredictable hour? Green light, away we go for qualifying here at the Dutch Grand Prix. They head out onto the circuit, and no one has the right idea as to what we are going to see over the next 18 minutes. There's so much changing in terms of track position and times. I don't know what's going to happen next, and I don't think anybody here knows what's going to happen next. Omi, prediction though for your surprise elimination in Q1?
One of the Ferraris and one of the Mercedes. That's what I am going to go for. But the only thing, Josh, that we know what's going to happen is chaos. That's the only thing that we can tell you.
What about you, Jess? What are you expecting coming into this one?
Chaos, chaos, and more chaos.
Seems to be that way, doesn't it, as well? Just chaos, chaos, and more chaos to throw into the mix. I hope it's a good one. Oh, that's a Ferrari. That's Charles Leclerc leaving the pit lane. Just making sure he's okay at the moment, as the timing tower wants to recreate itself somewhere along the line. As Megan's noticed the side of the commentary box, she's walking in. I don't know why she's looking quite alarmed. What are you looking? Oh, it's a fly. It's not a bee. It's just a normal fly that's flown in. You can shut that door if you like. It's not going to get too hot in here at the moment, as she's walking into the side of the commentary box, taking her sweet time to come in. But the cars are out there, setting out their banker lap times as well. A lot of spray. There's Max Verstappen coming out. Sergio Perez out there too. Verstappen will be there. Albon's fastest first and second sector so far, 30.7, 72.2. Megan walks in. Hello, Megan. Welcome to Zandvoort.
Hi. Oh, it looks like it's going to rain there too.
It is raining there. They're all on intermediate tyres.
Well, in about 30 minutes it's going to rain here. So I'm going to have to bring some stuff in.
So we'll be in the middle of a gap anyway. Look at the rain clouds, Megan, at the top of the circuit. And
That is a lot.
Verstappen twitching as well, coming into the braking zones of 3. It's just going to be all pretty much hell's bells who's going to be out first. Russell set starts at that time. Everyone's out there on the intermediate tyres at the moment, which is great news. But Liam Lawson in for his first ever qualifying. He's down in 18th position at the moment. And Megan, one thing we've got to talk about is Danny Ricciardo, a broken metacarpal and out. Crashed in turn 3 trying to avoid Piastri, and he didn't take his hands off the steering wheel and it ricocheted on him.
Piastri!
I know, another Australian. What do you make of it?
There can only be one Australian here.
Well, yeah, he's kicked him out already, the first chance he gets as well. 2 races we've had Danny Rick back.
Yeah, and Piastri was not happy.
Yeah. So Liam Lawson in becomes the 4th driver for AlphaTauri this year for the first time since 2017. When Brendan Hartley got kicked out.
Lawson isn't another Australian, is he?
Lawson is a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand.
Oh!
Same
So
side of the
not
world.
so much the threat to Piastri.
Nah, same side of the world though, but still a bit different between it. So
Yeah, he still may get a push from Piastri.
no, but he's a Kiwi, Megan, and your history with Kiwis don't really go well, does it? With Scott McLaughlin and
Is he?
he's a Kiwi, Brendan Hartley is a Kiwi. Your relationships with them don't go too well, so I'm not expecting too
Oh,
much
I
of
am
Liam
so
Lawson.
sorry, Lawson.
21 years
Oh
old.
my! That I said Link.
Yes, it is.
Why does that happen?
21 years old, Liam Lawson, born the 11th of February 2002. Tracks at Albon's been off at turn 11 and continued. That's why he's done a 131.315. Sargent's a 129. Russell a 130.326. Hamilton sets the first meaningful lap time at 126.764. Bottas does a 126 dead. So he sets the benchmark. And this was Albon going off the track, Omi. Locked up. We saw that so much today.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that so many times today. Just a little trip across the gravel. I believe Hulkenberg also went off as
There he
well.
is.
So there he is. Yep, just gonna go off wide at turn number 1, and he's just gonna join the escape road as well.
And Verstappen's gone off as well. The homeboy, he's locked up.
Yeah.
And done exactly the same thing. He's in the wheel tracks of Hulkenberg, actually.
Well,
And maybe Richie's prediction of Verstappen crashing out might be right. But
he likes to scare us, though.
he does that scare us. But it's Jess who's got the prediction of Charles Leclerc as Piastri is a 125.4. Why? Megan's tapping me. Hang on, mate. Jess, go on.
He's been off his game ever since he got stopped by police. He doesn't know what speed to go now.
120 and a 90 for a renown. Not a naughty boy, isn't he, Max Verstappen? He's warming his tyres. Jess, why did you pick Leclerc to go off crashing first of all? You're down in the pits.
The reason why I picked Leclerc, because he kept going off at random places during FP3 this
going on with the
morning.
car? No grip. It's spinning everything, everywhere.
Max has no grip and is complaining massively. Yeah, it's called wet weather.
And that's a good shout.
Leclerc's been off the track at turn 11. So, Jess, you're right. There you go, Jess, already.
Jess tells
Also,
us.
Josh,
But he has a course of red flag, so...
not yet.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it time. It's still
We're
early
only a
days.
few minutes in.
But Leclerc's lap time deleted for track limits at turn 11 on lap 4. Zhou Guan Yu's gone second. Sargent's gone fast. Norris!
Yay!
Norris, a 123.260 fastest. Sergio Perez, computer putting him to go second fastest, does so. 124.320. Lando is a second ahead at the moment to Sergio Perez. Alexander Albon electrifying in the first sector. Down by about 4/10 to Norris in sector 2 though. But the track conditions will continue to get better, Megan. We've seen this happen before as it's a McLaren 1-2 at the front.
He's skipping out Lawson.
I know, it did that with Ricciardo. It's really hard. You have to look at that one for Lawson. He's in 12th position at the moment. All up there for, as you go through. Leclerc goes 4th.
Inaccurate.
Albon goes 3rd. 123.758.
That's the top 3 I like to see.
Norris, Piastri, Albon. Yeah, the young guns coming through. Gasly throwing in the mix goes P4 as they come through as well on the screen side of things. Omi having a quick reconnect. Perez, fastest of all, first sector, 29, but that goes to Leclerc now, 28.94. So I think, Omi, the track is improving a lot as Stroll goes P6 and Russell goes P5. We're going to be like this to the end of the session, just constantly changing, and Verstappen with the lap time deleted as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how big hitters are also going to go out. Norris, Piastri currently the top two. A lot of improvements that are coming in. Sainz going nicely as well. Sonoda improving to P8 as well. So a lot of improvements we're going to see in this qualifying session. So that's how we're going to get big hitters going out if you can't find the lap time.
Perez is coming across the line now out of the last corner, the bank here, turn 14. The common Bosch as he exits across it and goes up into second position, 123.568. Liam Lawson's down to 12th position, but still out qualifying Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, so not too bad by the 21-year-old. As we see Leclerc into the last corner, Sainz goes top, 123.140. Ferrari will be hoping for the wet conditions. They've had an awful weekend so far. They can't get the rear grip to stick down in medium tyre conditions as well. Leclerc comes across the line, 15th at the moment. Does he go anywhere near the top? Yes, he does, by 007. So Charles Leclerc becomes the bomb to conditions, and he's gone off at turn 4. Exactly the same again as what he did. He went off 4 times there in practice. 3, he's gone off there at the end of the first run. But he is top on a 123.133, 007 faster than Sainz. Obi, just was ridiculous.
He loves that line, doesn't he? He wants the track to be designed like that. Stroll now about to come over the line from P12. He's going to go to P4 as well, but a lot of improvements coming from the 2 Mercedes as well.
Russell goes top, 122.969. Hamilton's on the lap time just behind them. He's fastest first sector. Fernando Alonso goes top, 122.793. 10 minutes to go. Hamilton goes into third position, 123.074. But look at Lando Norris in the middle sector. He's going faster. Verstappen faster by 007. Once again.
What is it? Are you all just for bonds?
Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin is 007 behind Verstappen. Leclerc not improving, but Lando does by 0.3 of a second.
Good,
122.392 for Lando Norris, 0.394 faster than Verstappen. So that's 2 in a row now with 007.
I got them both on pictures. I'm going to give them to you so you can put a story on.
I'll put them on Insta and Twitter as well. As Piastri was fastest in the middle sector, Albon's fastest in the first sector, slow in the middle. Stroll is a bit off the pace, but Piastri's fighting for grip. Verstappen isn't improving anywhere. The car's still going to grip. So again, Omi, just as we know, with these conditions, as Piastri comes across the line to go fastest, 122.059. Albon's across the line next as well. He's 14th. Albon goes third. 122.566. And Williams is faster than a Red Bull. What is going on, Omi, with Red Bull? And Stroll's faster than him now as well.
Absolutely, the track is just improving like crazy. Max Verstappen will be coming over the line soon as well. Lawson also out there currently pushing on, but we join Max Verstappen. He's making his way through the banking, but they're all really struggling. They all need to make sure that they keep getting laps in. McLaren 1-2 right now. Where can Verstappen slot in though as he comes over the line from P5? He goes only P4, so he's slower than a Williams.
He can't do it! Verstappen is having nothing but problems, but look at Liam Lawson! He's faster than Magnussen in the drop zone! Lawson's at the moment last.
I think Leclerc's off at turn 1 again.
Yes.
I think Leclerc.
Yes, he has. Leclerc off at turn 1 and continued according to the track limits monitor. Jess, this is unbelievable stuff. We just can't keep up with what's happening. What are you thinking back in the pit lane?
Well, that's what rain throws at you at the moment as Perez goes second. Perez is faster than Verstappen. And Russell's purple sector 1. The track's improving. Lawson goes 16th. There's just so much action going on right now. And I think Sainz is going to beat Leclerc's time. I just can't keep up.
Sainz goes 7th. That's it from Bernie Collins.
4 laps on a fresh set of tyres. That's the sort of way that they're thinking, that to get it in and get the pit stop done. They're discussing.
And let's see what...
Yeah, they'll discuss exactly what tyres they need to do, what they need to get in. All right, Foster says Russell making sure Mercedes doesn't. Ferrari, he's qualifying, I think, absolutely at the moment. They don't want to make any mistakes. They want to keep it on. Piastri is fastest. Perez is second. Norris, Albon, Verstappen. Followed. Look at Lando Norris, though. Fastest in the first and second sector. George Russell's finding time in this last sector as well. Gasly saying we're expecting rain in about 5 minutes, so this is going to be a very interesting end to the session. And look at that! Russell, he's 7,000th of a second faster again! It's 007 for the 3rd time in this session! What is going on?
777 slower than Russell.
What? I've taken a photo of it, don't worry.
I'll give you the other photo. I've only sent one of them.
And Lando!
Norris!
Lando 121.434, but that is the 3rd time in this session that 3 separate drivers are 7,000ths of a second separating P1
I think
and
they're
P2.
trying to tell us something. How many different bonds were there?
Well, right now we're on Roger Moore, because we had Sean Connery, George Lazenby, now 1 Roger Moore. After that, we'll go to Timothy Dalton, then to Piers Brosnan, then on to Daniel Craig.
So we've got 3 more to go.
Well, right now, Roger...
3 more? What?
Well, yeah.
3 more bonds.
After Roger Moore, there's been 6 bonds.
Oh, for all 3 more. Ah, right, I get you. I was just like starting to get a bit confused. But anyway.
So, everybody does want to be like Roger Moore. Definitely Charles Leclerc has got the James Bond look. Can he do anything coming out of the last corner? Ferrari might risk it for a Dutch waffle and goes into 4th position. And faster than Perez and Verstappen's in 8th position. Still complaining of no grip. When was the last time we saw Verstappen back? And Piastri, 1:21.254. Cross the line then. It comes George Russell. He stays in 3rd position. Esteban Ocon, he's 16th. 2 tenths down. And Hulkenberg across the line. Esteban Ocon goes up to 11th, and look at Max Verstappen, fastest first sector, personal best second sector. Yeah, this should be good though, to at least getting through. The traction is there in the last sector, and he goes fastest by 24 thousandths of a second. Verstappen at 1:21.230. So
Incredible,
not too bad.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 5 tenths down in the second sector, so the first and third sector being very crucial for Max. 24 thousandths currently.
Gasly's had a lap time deleted. Several drivers have had lap time deleted as well, as we get open the race control message graphic once again, because it froze at the start of the session. And this is on board with Lewis Hamilton coming through into the last corner. This is the Bosch. Has he been held up by traffic? I think he has, and it's one of the Aston Martins. Can't tell who it is. Let's hear from him.
Blocks. Okay, copy.
Behind the Aston Martin.
Yeah, he got blocks, and I don't know which Aston it is at the moment. And this is Piastri getting blocked by, getting forced off by Carlos Sainz. Well, this is Carlos Sainz again not looking.
That would have been a crash if I didn't avoid him there.
As into turns 2 and 3.
Well, you're used to that, aren't you?
Sainz loves doing it.
Yeah.
Remember Canada as well.
That was it. I was about to say Canada, and this is Sainz coming out of the pit lane. So Piastri has the right of way, and this is Sainz doing it.
See him.
I couldn't see a thing at the pit.
Yeah, so the
He says I couldn't see a thing. Well, you've got 2 mirrors, and you just come out of the pit lane with minimal spray. So yeah, you could
You know
see.
you can take that visor thing off.
Incident involving
Stall impeding.
Yeah. So incident involving Hamilton and Stroll is impeding, is noted by the stewards. So it was Lance Stroll's Aston Martin. Verstappen having a twitch coming through turn 13. Here comes Magnussen. He's 90th at the moment. Alexander Albon! What the? 1:29.39. 2 tenths faster than Verstappen. And Magnussen goes 13th. Williams are top in an actual good session. Sargent goes 6th. Sargent is up into 6th position, but Albon is faster than his former Red Bull teammate. The track is improving so much, and the rain's coming in a minute as well. So this is about the time when the rain was coming with 2 minutes to go. 3:19 on the clock, and can anyone beat Albon? Yeah, Russell, 27.9, first sector. About 69 thousandths faster.
He needs to keep it going in the third sector, and he needs to probably try and improve more. Here comes Joe over the line now for Alfa Romeo.
Goes, yeah, 8th place. Bottas goes only 13th. Look at Russell now. Hang on, who's that? It's Ferrari coming across the line. It's Carlos Sainz, and he's under investigation for forcing Piastri off the track. So the stewards are going to take a dim look at that. Russell comes across the line, goes into 4th position as well. Tsunoda next up as well. Can they finally think Magnussen getting through across the line? He's towing Verstappen. Is Verstappen going to improve? Yeah, 1:29.65. Verstappen can't beat Albon's time. 26 thousandths off.
Did we have a Williams on pole?
Oh, when was last time? Austria 2014. Somebody get me a stopwatch. That's what we need.
Why?
Thank you, Megan. Because this
Why do you need a
rain,
stopwatch?
because this rain could come in quite interestingly, quite quickly, and I want to see how quick the track is getting right now. Stroll's doing a 1:22.033. Hulkenberg's up in the middle sector, so I want to time the middle sectors between 2 different cars. The timing screen isn't showing it the way I want it to. 2 minutes to go then. Sainz and Hamilton in the drop zone at the moment. So there's some knock on. Red Bull saying light rain in the pit lane, and that's it. That's what I was just trying to work out on the stopwatch. You don't need to now, because that third sector was slowly getting slower across everyone's delta times. Hulkenberg does a 1:21.890, and that's why Albon was 26 thousandths quicker than Verstappen. Verstappen went through the third sector last. Sainz, 17th to 5th. 1:21.321. Ocon,
Oh.
18th.
Hamilton Alonso noted now as well. So is that separate or did they make a mistake?
Turn 13 impeding. So unless it's a correction and it wasn't Stroll, it was Alonso.
It better not have been Alonso.
Could be both Aston Martins at this
I
rate.
hate that exit.
Ocon goes into 13th place as well. Across the line, that comes Verstappen not improving. Hamilton goes 10th. Can't tell you. 1:21.919. Lawson across the line. 1:23.420.
I hate that exit. Every single time on the game, I
Yeah.
go round that. I crash into the wall. I think once I crashed into you.
You did. I don't like that. We don't like that part of the track. Stroll's already changing things on his diff as he goes 7th. The 1:21.570.
That's funny.
45 seconds left of the session then here for the first qualifying. And there's Zhou going a little bit wide. I don't think, Megan, we're going to see much, but Hamilton at the moment at risk. Who's in the drop zone? Zhou, Magnussen, Leclerc, Bottas, and Lawson.
That
Lawson
was
10th.
close there from Joe. He almost skidded off the road. Very what was that thing when you imperceptible? Imperceptible.
Yep.
So
And
you got to look for it. I see rain.
look at it's raining now in the third sector. It's getting heavier as well. And look at crucially, Charles Leclerc is in the drop zone, and he's not improving in the first sector. 28.265. Oh, big snap from Zhou. Huge snap from Zhou Guan Yu. And look at that, Leclerc's down. Leclerc's down.
Is it red?
Across the line, Zhou goes 15th. Bottas will be the first one to meet the checkered flag. Bottas across the line, he's out of qualifying. 18th, the last sector's raining heavily now, and it's getting heavier. Is Charles Leclerc out of qualifying?
Oh, I think so.
Sonoda goes 9th. Ocon's out of qualifying. He hasn't improved. 43 thousandths off of Zhou's time. Magnussen, Leclerc, and Lawson are now left. Now, I don't think Lawson's going to improve. Sadly, that much to come through. Leclerc is up by 4 thousandths though, Omi, so he's still got a chance.
He's still got a chance. He needs to make sure this third sector's perfect. He's twitching a tiny bit. Piastri improves his time as well. But Leclerc, this is it. Needs a good exit out of the banking, and he's sliding as well. So Leclerc now foot to the floor all the way to the line. Can he get through?
It's going to be right at the line. Can Charles Leclerc do it? He goes 14th
Ooh,
and
that's
that pushes
close.
out Zhou. And Sargent's now in trouble. But I don't think it's going to be that much. Zhou's on a lap time.
Also, they're
And,
having a great day.
Zhou's not doing it. Neither's Bottas.
Yeah.
That's it. Session done. Leclerc gets through by the skin of his teeth. What was going on with Ferrari? Really strange session.
Kind of what we expected after practice. Leclerc was doing what Perez did in Australia, just kept it going off in practice, and then he's continued it in qualifying, but he hasn't found the wall yet.
And Williams top a qualifying session on pure pace for the first time since the 2014 Austrian Grand Prix, when they started 1 and 2 on the grid. Unbelievable from Alexander Albon, 1:29.39, 26 thousandths faster than Verstappen. Piastri into third position as well. Well, I think, Megan, that's a darn sight good qualifying.
It was.
Jess is in the pit lane. What do you make of it, Jess?
Well, Williams doing better than an Alpine and 2 Alfa Romeos. I have to say, good qualifying session for the Williams and McLarens as well. Ferrari need to get their act together. Hulkenberg had a good qualifying in 11th as well. I think it's about it's going to be a big queue going out for Q2, I think. So
Leclerc.
I think Leclerc.
Come on. Now, let's be honest, traffic. The traffic is the most important. Time warm up, everything. This is important. This is the only priority we have. Let's focus on that and everything will be fine. Otherwise, we are going to be out in Q2. We are lucky already to be in.
Copy, understood.
That is a very honest assessment.
Oh,
Exactly, Ferrari learn.
Leclerc's getting angry.
Level their bloody drivers, Ferrari.
We're experiencing.
Leclerc's right.
Yeah, we're experiencing a divorce between these two now. Honestly, we're witnessing a very public and very messy divorce between Ferrari and Charles Leclerc. Unless it's the Michael Schumacher approach, where he's going to drag them back up, kicking and screaming. I don't think so. But Williams top a session. Verstappen second and 7th, Valtteri.
Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Valtteri out of the session as well. Turn 1 incident involving Piastri and Sainz will be investigated after the session for forcing another driver off the track. So that is still going to be looked at after this session. Bottas will be taking it. So it's Zhou, Ocon, Magnussen, Bottas and Lawson eliminated in Q1. Let's take a look at the full times then from the session that we just experienced. It's Alexander Albon who tops 120.939. Then it's Verstappen second, Piastri third, Norris is fourth, Sainz is fifth, Russell sixth, Stroll seventh, Gasly eighth, Tsunoda ninth, and Alonso rounds up the top 10. Hulkenberg is 11th, Hamilton in 12th. That's a worry. Perez in 13th. That's a worry. Leclerc 14th. That's a worry. And Sargent in 15th, lucky to get through as well in the tricky conditions when the track improved. He got blocked in traffic. Out, though, in Q1 is Zhou Guanyu, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas and Liam Lawson on his Grand Prix debut starts in 20th position. Well then, Omi, what did you make of qualifying? I think after practice, we were sort of expecting the drama. We got the drama in about tenfold, didn't we?
Yep, absolutely. There was a lot of drama involved. Williams going fastest, and it's just you gotta make sure that the lap is perfect. And with rain coming, going, hitting at certain point, it's really caused chaos. So I mean, Williams on pole is absolutely possible. And also, can I quickly just say again? Obviously, we had the last few runs coming in. Right at the end, but during it, they once again posted Hamilton and Stroll. So I'm confused. They posted Hamilton, Stroll, then Hamilton, Alonso, then Hamilton, Stroll. And none of it says correction as well. So I'm just so confused.
Nobody's got the idea of what actually is going on then down there. We're just watching Leclerc. He's had a moment coming through the last sector, coming into turn 14. Oh, he caught the dust, and he too had a snap and almost lost several parts of the car. Lewis Hamilton, this was the blocking of Fernando Alonso. Yeah, Alonso blocked him into the last corner. So Alonso did it as well. This is similar. I don't know if we'll hear. Alonso got in the way. I'm getting massively impeded everywhere, mate. That's what he's just said over the radio. So, yeah, he did have a problem as well. That's disappointing, to say the least. Magnussen went off the track at turn 1 and continued on. Oh, hello. Where did that come through? I thought we were watching the lap-by-lap coverage. Turns out, there we go, it must have just disappeared again. And there was the contact that they're investigating between Piastri and Sargent. This is a lot of it.
So there were two potential investigations there. Lance Stroll earlier in the session, and then Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, let's go back over to Sky.
And another driver with a tailwind behind, outbraking himself into turn 1. Kevin Magnussen out of qualifying. Let's go to his boss, Gunther Steiner, on the pit wall at Haas. Commiserations, one of your drivers didn't get through. Nico Hulkenberg is through, though.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Nico is through, which is very good, because FP3 was not good with us. So now we just need to see that we are not going to push out again like in Q1 here going into the queue. So no, pretty happy with what Nico did, but let's see.
Gunther, what is your prediction in terms of the weather? It looks like from the helicopter shot, the rain cloud could go just to the south of the circuit. Do you think we could see slicks in this session?
I don't know about slicks. Apparently it stops in 2 to 3 minutes, as you say. The rain should stop, but I don't know if we can get it dry enough for slicks, Carol.
And tell us, Gunther, in terms of your new front wing, has Nico got it on board? Did Kevin have it on board? Have you got enough spares? What's happening?
No, we're not having enough spares. Nico has got it on board, but with these conditions, it doesn't make a lot of difference, the front wing. So this is okay.
Gunther, thanks ever so much indeed for clearing that one up. Time for a green light. Time to get back.
Yep, green light, and away we go in qualifying number 2. And the track conditions pretty much the same, Omi, so we're just going to be expecting to see what we're going to see.
Absolutely. I was just listening to Verstappen's radio because obviously Sky were doing their thing with Steiner. So the radio was just about the weather, and there's a bit of heavy rain coming from the south. So it really just depends if it hits the track. That's the response Verstappen got to that one. But I think we're gonna get an absolute cracking second part, and I do think in this one we are gonna get someone out. Some of the big runners, obviously we're going to get someone out, but one of the big runners, I think we're going to get 1 or 2 maybe of the big runners. Hamilton seems to be struggling at the end of Q1 as well, so that's going to be interesting, I think. I'm still going to go with 1 Ferrari and 1 Mercedes to be out.
Albon versus Verstappen. Oh, we've lost TV pictures to the commentators coming through. Say again, Megan.
I was wondering on lightning outside. I've got a stiff
back
in the muscle, like here, and like near the bottom of my back.
Sit down. You don't need to
Ooh.
stand up. You take a seat, Megan.
Yeah, no, it hurts whether I
Look at
stand
this.
up or sit down.
What are you on
Just
about?
saw the track map. Albon being more dominant than Verstappen.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the track map, we just had a look at that as well. So,
We're going to get a lot of interference.
Yeah, there's a lot of interference coming, so it's going to...
So just warning everyone on YouTube that please do stay with us that if there is interference with the show. It is thundering and lightning outside in the commentary box right now. So, and that usually
Bear
plays
with
a bit
us.
havoc.
Megan is on it, coming into this first session as well. Q2 is underway, and it's sunshine at Zandvoort, but here in the UK, we've got the rain.
Yeah.
Russell setting fastest delta times as well coming through, which is good news for us, and hopefully it's going to be an interesting session. Megan?
It was a full line of washing, you know.
No, oh, was it? Oh, dear.
Yeah, I had to all in one hand.
FIA stewards, turn 13, incident involving cars 44 Hamilton and 14 Alonso, reviewed. No further investigation on the impeding. So they've both gotten away with that, which is tremendous news. We're riding with Max Verstappen as he comes through in towards Marlborough and then into the Renault corner before turn 10 to loop back over on the inside of the track. And his first sector time was a 29.071. It's still Albon who's fastest though from the previous session. I think, Omi, as well, this will be a more drier session. The rain's sort of blown away now, so we might get on to dries by the end of Q2, maybe start of Q3.
Absolutely, that's also going to make Q3 very, very exciting. Verstappen coming to the end of the lap, still having a few slides, a few twitches as well. But Sargent sets on the board 1 minute 23.161. Verstappen and all the drivers are going to try and chase that lap as Verstappen makes his way to the line now.
First time on the board then is Sargent, so 123.161. Verstappen does a 121.921. Goes fastest by 1.240 seconds. Everyone else now, Perez goes into third, 125.097. Verstappen was just on it to begin with. Russell at 122.654. He goes into second position. Here comes Lewis Hamilton then in the Mercedes across the line. P14 at the moment goes up to P5 at 125.246. Slowest of the runners so far who's completed lap times. Sargent's looking fast in the first sector. Russell's looking quicker as well. They're all looking faster. Piastri's still there too. So it's anybody's guess who could do it. Hulkenberg fourth, Leclerc fifth. Cross the line then. Albon goes third, 122.682. Sargent P4. It's changing again. And I think, Megan, this is going to be really interesting and close qualifying too.
I think it will be, especially since the track is drying, so people are not sure what tyres to put on, and it's always so hilarious when that happens. I can hear thunder.
Look at Verstappen, 1.112 faster than his own best lap time. Sargent's not going to do too much. Piastri goes into P5, so everyone's at the moment just feathering throttle, making sure everything's okay, but Verstappen is full on. Sargent across the line, and he goes top, 121.780. Williams again looking good. There's the rain blowing in, coming towards the circuit as well. It's coming into the circuit, according to our monitor. Verstappen does a 120.690, and just the wind is blowing up the hill in towards turn number one, so it's blowing down the start-finish straight. We just saw those clouds coming in. They're all out there right now because it's going to start raining again.
Yeah, I think it's if you want to have wind in Zandvoort, it's going to be so difficult. I mean, I can't even cope with wind in general, so I don't know how these drivers cope it.
I completely agree with that. It's ridiculous with the amount of wind we get in the UK as well. Can't keep an umbrella up for their life of you. As people waving around, dark clouds looming in over the circuit. Sargent second, Leclerc third, Stroll fourth, Russell fifth, Hulkenberg sixth. Piastri's got a middle sector faster, so it's Gasly to get through ahead of Piastri. 1.006 up, so everyone's still getting the deltas they need. A little bit of spray as Piastri's got Sonoda just ahead of him now on the timing screen. As they come across it, Piastri's middle sector puts him on a 121.399, goes second fastest. As across the line, Pierre Gasly, 11th, 123.077. Oh, a lot of traffic there. That's Verstappen being blocked. Perez getting past Sargent. Now we've got Verstappen just ahead of him, and there's the interference we were talking about, so apologies if you're...
And the rain's just started up really heavily.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm going to go on Sky.
Yeah, apologies if you're losing TV pictures. We'll do our best to commentate on for you as we've lost we've lost the TV pictures.
I'm on it.
So apologies that we've lost the TV pictures. It's exactly what happened in Montreal, Canada. We'll go over to the timing screen so you still got some information as we see Verstappen good in the middle sectors. There's a 27.975 in the first sector. We're trying to get our pictures back to you at the moment. They've returned to us now up here in the commentary box. That's the interference both from the track and here in the UK commentary box. So apologies. Albon comes across the line. He goes second fastest, 129.76. Very quick third sector. Lando Norris, 0.061 faster, 120.629. As we hear from Bernie Collins.
They're thinking that now is the time to go and get a few laps on it. And unhappy. And I said something along the lines of, we need to make the change to the tyres front and rear. So it sounds like maybe a bit of tyre pressure change for these slightly.
I wonder if that suggests he's going to...
Thank you, Bernie. Apologies once again for the interruption. It's not our fault, as Hamilton's at the fastest first sector time, a 27.955. So again, Megan, they are finding the deltas, and it's exactly the times they need.
Which is good, given how complicated earlier on was.
Hamilton's,
rain.
yeah, we've lost TV pictures again, as you can tell. Hamilton's, Russell's coming out of the last corner. Verstappen does a 120.282. He goes fast overall. Russell goes fourth on a 121 as well, 0.53. Hamilton goes third, 127.33 ahead of Albon as well. So it's Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Albon, Russell, Leclerc, Piastri, Stroll, Alonso, Sargent, top 10. Megan.
For about 10 minutes, it's a lot heavier, but then it gets lighter eventually. After like, I don't know, 20 minutes until the end of qualifying.
Great. Apologies that we might be having this interruption for a while.
Oh, we will be.
It's a satellite signal that we're getting the TV pictures.
This won't stop.
No, so Piastri, middle sector is quick. Fastest, let's have some signs.
Track is drying super quick. Drying super quick.
Yeah, the track.
Do you know, I love to hear the rest of that.
Track is drying super quickly. We need a new intermediate tyre right at the last lap as Piastri comes across the line and goes into fourth position on a 127.99. I am so sorry about this, that you're having it. We're losing TV pictures so much, but Omi, this is looking a good session again.
Yeah, looking like an amazing session indeed as well. Currently a very, very exciting one. Verstappen currently on top right now, but there's a lot of other drivers still in contention. They're all starting, some of them starting to head back into the pit lane now as well. So drivers starting to come back, changing of tyres. Possibly, maybe, if it's dry enough, possibly some slicks, but it might still be a bit wet. So it's going to be interesting to see who does gamble, but... your current top 10, Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Albon still up there for Williams, so I think he has a great chance as well. Russell, Leclerc, Stroll, Alonso, Sargent. So both Williams currently in the top 10. Perez just outside the top 10 as well, and also Sainz. So I think we could be losing two big hitters, as I said. But obviously all of them are starting to head back onto the circuit after changing tyres.
We have 0 TV pictures up in the commentary box. We've only got one little iPad that's like a minute behind what we're actually needing to see. So we are really sorry, and we've even lost that.
I guess I go up as well.
Yeah, well, we've got a system that we might be able to have something, but at the moment, me and Megan are just sort of knelt down over an iPad, trying to keep an eye on things as well. Verstappen is fastest in that first sector time, but he's let go in the second sectors. Miracles, a little bit of TV pictures coming back to us with 5 minutes to go in the session. But it is taking a little bit of time to come into it, but we should get... oh, is it back? Yes, it's back.
Yay!
Oh, never don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just about coming to us. No, it's gone again.
Wait.
It's fighting us, isn't it?
I see a crane.
It's hiding.
It's fighting us as hard as it possibly
I see
can.
a Perez.
I also see a crane, and I see Perez on the lap.
Well, we've got a backup TV picture as well, so we're not going to lose it again, which is great news up here in the commentary boxes. Megan's trick.
It's just that we won't be able to see. It'll just be Josh and Megan for a little bit until the TV pictures fix itself for us.
What does Sky go as well on as well?
Well,
just in case.
That's like a minute and a half delayed.
No, here's a tip.
Just have a minute.
Here's a tip. if you have Sky Go and a Sky Box, record the session and then click View Recordings and watch the session on your recordings. It's exactly the same length as a TV picture.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Why, don't you have a Sky Box?
Because do you know why?
Sky Glass.
I've got Sky Glass.
Ah.
I got a skybox.
I
should be able
find
to do
that
that.
just
Yeah.
threatening the TV with going to something else helps. For some reason,
The
technology.
trouble
I
in the
think, was-
pits, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Albon!
Albon's up in the middle sector, yes. Albon is fastest. So we have 2 TV pictures now for the commentary box, so we won't lose anything. We will be with you. So thank you, Megan, that tip that she found out back at the Canadian Grand Prix works a treat.
Yeah.
So we can see what we need to appear in the box. As Albon is 27.297 in the first sector. Could we actually be considering a Williams pole position, Megan?
Maybe. Which is weirdly a scary thought.
119.
A pleasant one.
Yeah, it is. 119. Oh, he's down in the middle sector as the conditions just sort of flux out of there, don't they, as well? They're just changing around as well. Not looking too great, but look at that. It's dry into turn 13, so there's still on the track there. Leclerc's off the track again in turn 1. That's what our timing screens are telling us. So not looking great there. Cross the line for Alexander Albon. Is it P1? Yes!
Yes!
119.399, 2 sessions running. Alexander Albon's been at the top. Tsunoda goes third. Now, Verstappen's in the pit lane with 2:30 to go. Is he going to come out and go again, or is Albon going to top the session once more? Here comes Gasly. He's 14th at the moment. Will he improve on a time? Gasly goes 8th. Russell is second. He can't match Albon's time. It's a 119.620. Russell can't beat it. What about Alonso? He only goes 4th. 119.777. Megan, nobody's beating Albon's time. Williams have got a trick up their sleeve in these conditions.
They probably put holes
They
in
could take
everyone else's
foul.
tyres.
They could. Is that a red flag? No,
Yeah.
2 minutes to go. Go on.
2-minute warning.
Williams
2
win
minutes.
a race.
Williams might.
We can pray.
If it's wet tomorrow, if it's the same
Yes.
conditions, then I think they've got a shot. Verstappen
Yeah.
on outlap.
Please rain.
It would still be unlikely, I'd say, even if it did rain. But in qualifying, absolutely right now, yes.
I'd just like to point out as well, by the way, that tomorrow it is predicted to rain a little bit during the race, like the halfway point. So we could have some rain tomorrow.
Ooh. And I'll be missing that bit, Rip.
Sorry.
And I don't want any rain. I don't want any rain during the F2 or F3.
Piastri.
Not F2, sorry, Porsche.
By 007!
Oh, look at that again.
What's he meant to be like Sean Connery now?
Piastri once again out-qualifies Albon 119.392 by 007 for the 4th time this session.
Okay, so which one is that?
What's the next James Bond?
Who was after Roger Moore? It's Timothy Dalton.
And then is it like Sean
No, we
Connery?
had Timothy Dalton.
Well, to be fair, Piastri could have been George Lazenby, the Australian.
He could have been.
Yeah, then we got 3 more, I think you said.
Pierce Brosnan and
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. They're the next 2. Listen,
Leclerc,
Who's going to be Pierce Brosnan?
it's not purple.
he's still
Yeah, that's
faster
up on
though.
Tsunoda.
He could still get in
He
though.
lost time in that middle sector. He's old.
Lot of
Yeah,
traffic.
the second sector was terrible.
Lot of traffic
him.
coming into the last sector. Here we go. 23 seconds left of qualifying. Leclerc, middle sector, looking good across the line. He's got a dry line on the intermediate tyres. Hulkenberg's looking up there too. Leclerc goes third, a 119.6. And Hulkenberg's coming in as well, trying to find some time.
Spins down.
It's not looking good. Checker flags out. I don't think
So
they're going
Hulkenberg, Gasly are all currently on lap. So are Tsunoda to the first sector and Sainz. Sainz really needs to find a lap. He's massively under pressure here at the end with the checkered flag out.
Verstappen's fastest in the first sector, 27.112. Second sector, 27.092. Hulkenberg's down by 33,000. Sainz is in the drop zone. So is Lando Norris. So is Yuki Tsunoda. Hulkenberg twitches, coming out into the wet part of the track into turn 13. Up now to the banking of 14. Stroll goes 8th. Hamilton's at risk. Sargent might go through as well. Perez goes P7. Not improving for them. Track's improving every single second. Hulkenberg across the line. He goes 10th. 122.50. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. He's 12th at the moment in the AlphaTauri. Does he go through anywhere? Yes! Kicks out Hulkenberg by 0.02. Verstappen at 118.856. Verstappen fastest. Here comes Gasly across the line. 14th to 9th. He puts Hamilton in trouble. Tsunoda's out. Hulkenberg's out. Sainz, Norris and Ricciardo. So Sainz, Norris and Sainz in trouble. Here comes Alonso. He goes 4th. off. Sainz across the line goes 8th. That puts Hamilton in the drop zone. Here comes Norris. He goes 7th. 3 tenths up. He goes 7th. Hamilton's out of qualifying. Hamilton's out. Here comes Sargent. He's coming across the line. Is he making a double?
Sargent.
He kicks out Stroll. Both Williams are through.
Yes.
Both Williams are through. And it is Lewis Hamilton who is out of qualifying. He starts 13th on the grid. Wow.
Williams. I should have worn my Williams t-shirt, but I don't have it on.
Well, Jesse would have custom, so that's probably a good idea.
Both Williams are through to the next part of qualifying. Albon 3rd with genuine pace. Verstappen 5 tenths quicker than Piastri. What a qualifying tour. What a quali 3 we got going. It will not feature Lewis Hamilton. And it will not feature Lance Stroll either. He's out of qualifying.
I mean, Hamilton has been struggling quite a bit, to be honest, at the end of this, really in this qualifying in general, to be honest, as Hamilton. So not really surprised. I expected some big hitters to go, so Hamilton is that big hitter. I expected one Mercedes and one Ferrari. Both Ferraris are luckily through, so maybe they listened to somewhat what I'm allowed to say. But yeah, Hamilton, big shock, he's out.
Question is, Jess, would they put on dry tyres? Because there's a few dry lines out there. Would you risk it for the first one in Q3?
No.
Inters?
I wouldn't risk. I wouldn't risk it yet. Maybe towards the middle of the Q3, but no.
This
It could even be
one. Good to see Alonso up there.
Yeah.
I think Alonso needed this.
Comes at the price of his teammate and Lewis Hamilton, who's down in 13th place at the moment, though, Megan.
It is raining very heavily.
As that does.
Yeah, very heavily. Like, I've looked on the weather app, and you know when it's yellow?
Yeah.
The rain? That means extreme to heavy. And that's what it is.
Just going to resync up the Discord call as well as we take a look at the running order as well for this next session, the end of Q1 going in towards Q2. Here's the order then from a very bizarre Q2 session. Out goes... through to the top 10 shootout. Verstappen, Piastri, Albon, Alonso, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Perez, Sainz and Sargent. Out goes Stroll, Gasly, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, and then already out was Zhou, Ocon, Magnussen, Bottas and Lawson coming into it as well. It's going to be a very interesting end to the session, but Omi, coming to you, what was your moment of that session?
Well, it was definitely a very, very interesting session. A moment has to be probably Hamilton going out, to be honest. It's not really a moment, not really a happy moment, but, you know, definitely a big moment of this qualifying session. Really big shock. Hamilton heading out as well. And I think this could, in Q3, just was saying, maybe put it in the middle. I think this will definitely be one-shot quali here, basically. Obviously, the drivers will be doing laps before, but if you put on soft at the end, then it kind of does become one shot, because it doesn't matter what laps you've done, it kind of becomes one shot. Obviously, if no one improves, then yeah, that's fine, but it does kind of technically become one shot, a bit like the Spa sprint race, even though they all stayed on the inters, but still, it was absolute. I think we're going to see a lot of improvements at the end. So,
Fossils agreed. It's 007 between P2 and P3 again. You just can't run it, can you? Right, Jess, here's your prediction for pole position now.
Oh my, it is.
I need to unmute my mic. Sorry.
That's Piers Brosnan.
I'm gonna be bold. I did say Verstappen in FP3, but I'm gonna be bold, and I'm probably gonna curse him for doing this. But Albon.
Okay, let's cross back over then to Sky Sports.
Welcome back to Zandvoort, where for the second time in 2023, Lewis Hamilton has been knocked out in the second part of qualifying. Miami and then Zandvoort, not the best day for him. Anthony Davidson in the sunshine down in the paddock. What have you got for us at the Sky Pad?
Yeah, well, Crofty, in those changing conditions right at the end, we saw the track drying rapidly, but we still saw mistakes like this one from Charles Leclerc into turn one. This was with 3 minutes to go before the end of the session. The Ferrari driver once more struggling in that wetter part of the track down at turn one. But it was a very different story, as Karun rightly pointed out, at turn 6 through turn 7. Look at this dry line in front of us as we go through Skyflock Corner. This track condition just about is good enough for slick tyres. As he gets into turn 9, it's still okay, but as you slow down in speed, this part of the track here is much more damp. So all it takes on a set of slick tyres at this part of the track is this dampness here, and you can see further up on the track there's another dry patch waiting for you. So as he gets there, once again, you would be okay on slick tyres. So it was really, really close. Going into this session, I'm sure they're all just going to bail out there ready on the slick tyres.
Track temperature has risen 4 degrees as well in the sunshine. Not quite sure why Anthony's still wearing his coat, Karun, but you know.
I don't understand. I mean, there's not much meat on him, is there?
Maybe he didn't bring his best t-shirt. I'm not quite sure.
He needs to go on the coffee diet a bit more.
Quite. There you can see the dry line. Looking at Lando Norris.
We are safely through. Oh, thank God. Yes. That was my bad. If you wanted to take a big risk, I reckon you could try a slick, to be honest with you.
Where he says that was my bad, was that staying out on the same set of intermediate tyres?
I'm guessing something, he must have made an error earlier, aborted a lap and had to sort of compensate but keep going. So that messed up their timing. But
It's made your day by talking about slick tyres now, isn't it?
It's coming, it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. But the other thing is DRS is now enabled, which wasn't the case in the first 2 parts of qualifying.
Yeah, I'm still at a loss as to why we have DRS in qualifying, given that it's an overtaking aid, and I'm not quite sure why we need it in qualifying. Yuki Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton, an incident.
Yeah, it's under investigation. It's been noted for impeding.
Now this might actually ruin the qualifying session, I have to say. To be honest, the Q3 with DRS now.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Because that was what was helping the Williams. Because we all know how powerful that Max Verstappen's DRS is on the Red Bull. Here we go then.
Why are you ruining it, FIA?
Let's hope it rains quite quickly and disables DRS before we get out there. Either way, not going to work as we get ready to put on the green light once more. The final part of qualifying is underway here for the Dutch Grand Prix. The green light is on. 12 minutes with a top 10 shootout. Who will be victorious at the end of it? We've got no idea. There's so much anticipation in the air, Megan. There's so much worry as well as to who's fastest and who's not. We generally don't have a clue who's going to be out there going faster next, do we? Oh, sorry, I'm not myself. Go on.
No, not really. In fact, Thunder is getting closer.
Thunder is getting closer, getting louder as
Right,
well.
might miss us, I reckon.
Yeah. Sorry for the TV pictures, by the way, disappearing on us in the last session. Let's go around the room. We heard that who Jess was going for. We'll be back with her in a second. So, Megan, who are you going for pole position today?
I'm not going to put a curse on anything, so I'm going to say Piastri.
Piastri for pole. That's a good call. He's out there on intermediates, though. Albon, Russell, Sargent and Sainz out there on soft tyres at the moment. Omi, who are you going for pole position?
Well, I said mine in practice, and I'm gonna stick with it. It's the same as Megan. I said it in practice, so I'm gonna stick with it. Piastri's still in the game, so I don't see any reason why I should change it, to be honest. So I'm still gonna stick with Piastri. I know Albon's kind of appeared, but I don't want to really curse him because by wearing this Ferrari shirt, I've already caused enough carnage today. So
to ask George's point, it was Yuki who impeded Lewis. And Bernie Collins at pit lane.
Perez as well talking about it. So it is injured that Verstappen's going out on that.
Yeah, which is...
Okay, so Verstappen's out there on a used set of intermediate tyres. That's a brave call, Jess. You said you'd go out on intermediate tyres. Is that the right one when people are out there on slicks?
There is a dry line. It's a bit of a push, really. We'll find out if people start slipping around in turn 1 because that's going to be the huge issue. As George Russell will be the benchmark so far as he's trying to find a dry line in towards turn number 1. Let's see how he is crying a little bit, but not by much. Is that Lando Norris putting
Piastri
tyres on? Or Piastri putting softs on? Okay.
So Piastri went out on intermediates. He's coming for slick tyres. Albon, who is on slick tyres, 24/7, third sector. So that is a mighty good time. So with the DRS enabled, we're either going to get a red flag or it's going to be different. Oh no, it's Hamilton who's impeded Tsunoda. They've just corrected it this second. Turn 13 involving Tsunoda and Hamilton will be investigated after the session for impeding. So it's Hamilton impeding. Let's go to Verstappen.
3 now.
We have them ready, right? Stand by. Max, please focus on the job at hand.
Max is doing his own strategy, and his engineer has just said, no, please focus on what you're doing. Focus on you, and you alone, and don't go anywhere else near it. Really is giving him an awful one-on-one fall, isn't he?
He's being tricked. He's being trapped like nobody.
He's properly going. He's properly not insult. Actually, he could be insulted. He's probably going like, well, I'm offended now, so I'm going to change my opinion on you.
Probably.
Yeah, it's one of those. Russell's the benchmarker, and it's a 1:18.245. Alexander Albon, however, could ideally go fastest here. Top in sector 1, top in sector 2. TV pictures going all over the place with Fom, and he's done it! 1:15.743.
That's huge.
Sergeant second.
1:16.7. 1.005, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 4. Yellow flag sector 4. Is it
Leclerc?
Is it Verstappen?
Sergeant.
Oh, is it Sergeant? It's a red flag. It's
You're
a red
right.
I think
flag.
Sergeant's crashed.
Well, yeah, Sergeant stopped. Oh, it's a big one. Huge.
You cursed the wrong Williams.
It's a huge accident for Logan Sargent, who's off the track at turn 3, and he has hit the wall. Front wing and suspension has gone. Rear suspension in there. Tyre Pro barrier damage. The clock has stopped. 8:13 on it to
Sergeant
go.
said I'm okay.
Sergeant has just texted in. Well, he's okay, but that's a huge mess over me and a red flag out.
Yep, definitely has to be a red flag. Big crash there for Sargent. We've seen quite a few crashes there as well. We saw Magnussen last year getting very close to that inside wall as well. But luckily Sargent is getting out. And obviously, I'm guessing he might have gone a bit offline or maybe got over the curbs and spun. But you usually do see moments for drivers, and also that's the risk all of these drivers are taking in these conditions, in these wet conditions. It can be very hard, and one little mistake, one little misjudgment can cause a big impact like that. Unfortunate for Sargent, but he is going to sign the top 10 unless that's done the gearbox and stuff.
Yeah, red flag out then. So it could have done the gearbox. It's still P10. Let's hope it's not gearbox. So that Williams will need to be rebuilt from the back, and probably a penalty for gearbox. Is it upright fossils? You said, Omi. Not looking great for Ferrari this weekend, says SHG on the Twitch chat. Yeah, and that's a big old mess, and a red flag when we didn't need one as well. Let's take a look how we did it then. So, he lost it he was on the slicks and he lost it on entry. That's not as big a hit as I thought it might be. He's only done the front suspension.
Yeah.
You okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not as big as a hit as I thought. I think he'll get away with that one. That was frightening, though. Red flag's out then. Well, one Williams left, and that's still... What we need now, boys and girls, in the commentary box, is rain. Because that would put Albon fastest.
Well,
What outside Josh's house? Outside at Zandvoort, please. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought the marshal would flip on the barrier.
Can it move to there, please?
Yeah, go down a bit. So, red flags, session suspended. As we wait then for confirmation of a restart time. We haven't got one just yet, that's why we're sort of hanging around here, waiting to see, as I just grab my commentary chair, take a seat. And that went around quickly. As soon as he turned in, went in first and reared the barrier. A lot of damage in the car. Intermediate tyres, and everyone was out there on slicks as well, Megan, on long lap time. So it is slick tyre weather.
It is.
Paul says, I think you all could use a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. Always goes down well. Could actually, couldn't we? Megan's already reading the book.
I've already downed this drink, so...
I need an espresso, I think, as well, coming into it. It's not going to be too long of a red flag. I think they're going to repair the Tech Pro. And get it all sorted.
It won't be too long.
Yeah. 2 pieces of Tech Pro have actually come up. That was quite a large hit for that to happen. The red absorbent blocks have come up.
Small but powerful.
Yes. Indeed.
Like a pressure washer.
A what?
A pressure washer.
A pressure washer, you say?
Yeah. They're small, like hose things with a lot
I know
of power
what they
in
are.
them.
I know what they are. I don't understand what you were saying. Mexican wave or a Dutch wave? Hello, entertainers are out
board
there.
the Mexican wave.
Entertainers are out there under the red flag, getting the crowd hyped up. Touring car qualifying, by the way, starting at I don't know if it's delayed or anything.
It's the at the moment Porsche Cup Career Cup was meant to happen at 14:25. It is now 14:55, and it's just started. So it's half an hour delayed.
So qualifying will be underway at 4 o'clock. So that's the same time as the.
Right, yeah, around about 10 past. Well, about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, about the same time as the Porsche race then. So all being well, it might not interfere.
Yeah, I'll be good.
Good. So red flag out. Oh, let's take this opportunity though to move up the commentator, the graphic up here that we get for qualifying. I'm hearing "Hey Jude" being sung in the background. Someone's a fan of the Beatles. Look at Sargent. He locks up into turn 1. Got on the damp patch, and then he's going to cut through at 3, and it just went round him so fast. And you said "whop."
Yep.
Just went away. It went away with such velocity as well, Omi. It was such a hit. I don't think it's on the gearbox, but not what he needed.
Might just be might just be okay with that one, but really disappointing for Sargent, because I mean, with how the session was going, anyone could have taken pole, to be honest. Anyone could have taken it. I'm not saying Sargent would have taken it, but maybe a top 3 start. But I think Ant is down there as well to analyse this.
His wish is my command. In a slow-mo, we can see Sargent just turning in, and right about there, you can see that damp line. I'm in the shade here, so it's a little bit hard for me to see, but you can see that damp line. He's just a little bit off to the left-hand side as he turns in, and I think that's all it took to lose control with the rear end of the car. And yeah, really narrow line of dry track there for them all, but he obviously survived 1 lap through there, pushed a little bit harder the next lap, a little bit late in his turn in. I mean, you're talking centimetres. That's all it took to send that car into the barrier there. Back to you.
Thanks ever so much indeed, Ant.
Cheers, Ant. Let's stay with Sky for a minute.
By the way, from Max Verstappen, a 1:15.7 is the fastest time so far, so it still shows you just how much slower the track is and how much damper the track is. Yes, I know last year's cars might have been a bit faster as well, but still quite a margin on.
Synthil's with us. Just we watched the F2 race. I missed. Well, race 1 lap. Scary crash that. It really was a terrifying accident. And the race, of course, F2 not really happening. Just it got red flagged off because of rain.
I think your rain has come outside my house now, because I just heard a loud noise, and I think now it's about to start absolutely bucketing it down outside.
I haven't heard
it's gone cloudy
big
here.
bit of thunder for ages.
So we're all experiencing the rain. Jeff saying...
Well, no, not yet. We haven't got rain yet. It's just cloudy at the moment.
It was stopping.
It was sunny earlier on.
Jeff saying... Sorry, Jeff saying, yes, will you be covering the IndyCar qualifying later? Yes, we will. Practice 1 and practice 2 will be IndyCar radio. We're on qualifying and the race. But we will, I think, be doing them all at Portland. That's the plan, because of Grid Network team being on site. And then we are...
I believe the commentary team for that is yourself, Josh, Omi, and Adam.
For qualifying later, yes. And the race.
IndyCar, yeah.
And the race.
And the race.
Commentary team for Portland will be myself, Adam, and Ben Schneider, as always. And I think Jeff Lambos is going as well. So Jeff's coming in as well.
Oh.
Jackson is coming in too.
By the way, IndyCar, according to our schedule, practice 1 starts at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's in an hour's time.
Yep.
Your laptop is going to be very busy, sorry.
You're going to make it go really, really bad, aren't you?
No, I fixed it all. I fixed it all.
Oh, you said that last time. And it went bad again.
Oh, look, checker flags.
I think it's just a natural thing that you wear it out too much. Because you know what you do?
You
leave the top up.
Being into Q3 today, but what happened in that final quick lap, I should say, from you? Was it just the timing of it? Did anything happen on that lap at all?
I did 2 fast laps at the end, and the tyres overheated, so couldn't improve on the last lap.
So what sort of car have you got for the race tomorrow then, do you think, around
The same
here?
car as I disqualified in, which wasn't really good. So hopefully when the car's a little bit heavier, maybe we'll be able to progress forward. It's not an easy track to move forwards on, but tomorrow's a new day, so I'll give it my best tomorrow.
Thank you.
Lewis Hamilton there just talking with the drivers as we take a look with the red flag still out there. Let's check in with Sky Sports F1 while we wait for the restart.
In the end, after taking a new power unit, went from the pit lane to 8th, made good progression through the field. Lewis Hamilton is going to have to do something very similar, well, not from the pit lane, but that sort of progression tomorrow to salvage his weekend. I'm sure would have been looking at a much higher grid spot had he made it through into Q3. Not to be on this particular occasion. We're left with 2 Williams, one of which is into the barriers, and that's why we've got the red flag. We're left with 2 Ferraris, Sainz and Leclerc. The Mercedes of George Russell, the 2 McLarens of Piastri and of Norris, and the 2 Red Bulls of Verstappen and Perez. Fernando Alonso, who has gone, I counted it all up just for you, Karun, 4,052 days since his last pole position. Germany, 2012.
Thanks, Sophie. Very helpful of you.
Oh, God.
I was just looking at that graphic that came up. You know, Piastri versus Norris, 10-2 in qualifying. But I was looking at it, you know, when you do a deeper dive, the average gap between them is only just over 2/10 across season. And bearing in mind, Lando is probably one of the best qualifiers in F1 over the last 3 years. Oscar's a rookie. And actually, if you take away Bahrain, the first race of the year, where Oscar's absolute first ever qualifying, and he had a few issues and the car wasn't great, if you take that one race away, it comes to just over a 10th and a half, which is a very impressive effort. Despite the score being 10-2, I actually think Oscar's done a cracking job in his rookie season in general against Lando.
I think it was one race earlier in the season where he set an identical time to a driver who got out of Q1, and because he set it second as well, he didn't go through. We've had so many qualifying sessions, it escapes. Might even have been Bahrain for the first race. I'm looking at Bernie Collins. She normally writes these sort of things down, but
yeah, I've not written that one down. But what I was going to say is, you know, from a strategy side, we often don't do the head-to-head in the pure number count for that reason. We look at how much the theoretical best is, what the delta is, and we track it more in a sort of pure numbers way, because you could have a 50-50, but if the driver's half of the time 5-6 tenths off, that's not as good as someone who maybe loses every single qualifying, but only by very small margins. And that's more what we tend to look at from a strategy side on that.
Karun Chandok is now brandishing a piece of paper in the commentary box.
Well, it's my sheet, which I have been doing for many years, doing exactly that, because I think also there's so many things that don't tell the story. You know, there's sessions where a driver's had an issue, a mechanical issue, and you shouldn't count that session, I think, you know, and I think there's so many things that skew the picture. You do have to be careful as well. But yeah, I think, you know, Albon so far 4 tenths quicker than Sargent. Obviously Sargent's not going to improve.
Corners,
yeah, but Sargent's not going to improve, and Alex is going to hopefully take a big leap forward.
I think Alex Albon has once again shown absolutely how good he can be throughout this session. He's one of a few drivers that have really impressed me out there so far here today. Competed here in the F3 Euro Championship back in 2015, raced against George Russell that particular afternoon. I think George finished a place.
Okay, we've just had to confirm that from race control that the delay is due to barrier repairs. So the Sargent's crash has knocked out the Tech Pro, which is quite a lengthy repair job, 9 times out of 10. So we'll leave you with Sky F1 for a little bit. Gives us a chance to have a bit of a breather. We'll hand back over.
Karun Chandok, you as a driver, if you were out there, would want to make sure they were absolutely the way they should be, and that no chances were taken.
Yeah, there's no question about it, you know. And actually, I have to say, the Tech Pro barriers that you see there, those grey and red blocks that have come into Formula One over the last few years, they've really been a big help. You know, back in the day, you had the tyre barriers and the concrete blocks to the right-hand side, but you see the way they've done the layers, right? You know, towards the top, where there's a higher risk of impact, there's 5 rows of tyres between the Tech Pro and the concrete, and then it sort of tapers down because the track gets, that part of the runoff gets narrower. So there's a lot of science involved with calculating just how much absorption material you need. I can assure you Lando Norris is not asleep. He is deep in concentration in the cockpit of his McLaren.
You'd laugh if we asked him and he said he was asleep. I mean, why would he not be meditating,
He's flaring his
chilling?
nostrils, Crofty. Look at him.
Or maybe he's having a dream where, you know, he's going through the final corner and it's all getting exciting and he's going to get poled by a thousandth of a second.
Oh, he missed the cheer. He would have just woken up at that point then.
Fernando Alonso, he does his thinking and is concentrating with his eyes wide open, studying the data on the screens.
I don't think he ever sleeps. He's just always on it, Fernando Alonso. It's like a samurai ninja.
I was thinking Dracula in the back of my mind. I don't know why about that one. Paul Monahan, chief engineer for car engineering at Red Bull, who was part of the Enstone team when Fernando Alonso won his 2 world championships, of course, and they've remained very good friends to this day. I was talking yesterday about the car, the RB19 for this year, and saying that it's very, very simple, this car. Our weaknesses are stronger than our competitors' weaknesses, but also don't discount the influence Max Verstappen has as a driver on the track.
He still goes out karting to Fernando's kart track out in Spain. As you know, as you said, he and Fernando remain friends from the championship winning years. He did say to me he went karting in the summer break in the UK, and he said, I was driving around, this bloke came flying past me. I could not believe how quick he was, and then I recognized his helmet. It was Oscar Piastri.
Really?
Doing a little bit of karting in the summer break, and apparently he flew past Paul Monahan, who tried to keep up with him and then gave up after about one apex.
I think those barrier repairs might just have been fixed. We have...
It has. We've got a restart time. Q3 will resume at 16:11. That is 3:11 British summer time, which is in around about 5 minutes. So we will go back to green flag running. There's Leclerc Perez. Let's hear from him also.
Pretty hectic day today. How are you feeling at the end of that running in quali?
I feel okay. Yeah, it's been very, very hectic is a good way to put it. Very tricky conditions, to be honest. The Inter is a tyre I haven't driven before, so I was quite surprised by how high the grip is, but how easy it is to overslip and then have issues basically. So. But I felt all right. The first part of the session felt quite good on the first set. I felt like I was getting somewhere, and then it rained again, and I think I just didn't quite push enough on that second set. So, yeah.
This is a tough track to come to for your first F1, and also, I mean, physically as well, it's very demanding on you. How are you feeling, and what are you expecting before tomorrow's race?
Tomorrow's going to be a long race, for sure. I feel okay right now. Obviously, the conditions are not as difficult as dry physically, so I expect it to be a lot more tough tomorrow. But yeah, this track is definitely a tricky one, obviously with all the banking, and it's quite bumpy in places. It's a track that takes a lot of confidence, and this weekend, that's something that's quite difficult for me to grab so quickly.
And what have the team said to you that they expect from tomorrow? Just get used to the car, get used to the whole situation of a Formula One weekend, because every chance we'll need you in Monza, according to what Christian told us.
Pretty much exactly that, yeah. Don't look at times too much, and basically just get familiar with it, learn as much as I can. Obviously tomorrow, if it's dry, it'll be, again, the first time driving in the dry, so basically a big learning weekend, and hopefully I can take a lot from it.
Great stuff, thank you.
Thank you.
Cars lining up in the pit lane, around about 60 seconds to go then until the session resumes here. Red flag's been out for a long time. Yes, we can hear you. Hello, you alright?
Yeah, because it's raining outside like terrible for me, so my Wi-Fi just went for a second.
Jess's has gone now too.
Yeah. Everyone's Wi-Fi is going because of this rain that's come from Zandvoort all the way over to us.
It's blowing that way actually, so DRS has been enabled. It probably is the same rain we had in Zandvoort, that Zandvoort had. It's blown over.
Zandvoort.
Yeah, it doesn't take
Go
that long,
back to
does it?
Zandvoort.
It's blowing that way actually, because Zandvoort, I know where it is on positioning. The way it was blowing, it is actually blown over to us. So yeah, it doesn't take that long to get here, of course. Wind speeds and everything blowing across the ocean. Albon, Sargent, Sainz, Russell, Piastri, Alonso. Then we get into it all coming in with Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris and Perez, the top 10. Sargent will take no further part in this qualifying Q3, but there's a long way to go as the green flag is underway in about 20 seconds time. We should get an interesting one. Can I interest in you in a microphone? Megan's saying no. Not yet, I can't hear her. Soundproof headset, Megan, I can't hear you. As they come into it. All right, fine. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green light, away we go. Let's head out there onto the circuit then. What are we going to see as we go running and racing? A lot of anticipation here as to what we're going to experience in this session. Fingers crossed it's not going to be too bad. But Megan?
I got to the end of the paragraph.
Megan, we could be in a very interesting Q3 now. Albon's top. Rain's not going to come back, but Verstappen, is he going to take pole position again?
Hopefully not.
Number 29 of his career, going after win number 45.
Hopefully not. He can wait for number 29 and 45.
Yes. That is correct. He can wait. Albon was 1, to be fair, but Norris is P9. He was many pretty pools pick a winner, so was Piastri. He's P5. Russell's been faster than Hamilton, obviously. Hamilton down in 13th place, so there's a lot to look forward to. Previous pole winners here. PK in 83, Prost 84, PK 85, Verstappen in 21 and 22. Very much keeping it in the family apart from Prost in 84. But we don't talk about Nelson Piquet Sr. anymore. Felipe Massa, on the other hand, can't stop talking about Nelson Piquet Jr. with his Singapore crashing away as well.
The Piquets, they do know how to do
Yeah,
this.
Felipe, baby, just let it go. That's what I said to Felipe, just let it go to be on a good network. And he's not the world champion from 2008.
He does need to let it go at this point. Just like, it was 15 years ago. Please just let it go.
He's not the world champion. He never will be the world champion. And I feel a bit sorry for him, to be fair, on that matter.
He's the one who decided to retire.
Yeah, Jess, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Has Omi's picture frozen for you as well?
Yes. It's loading for me. It's got those 2 dots.
Yeah, jolly good.
Okay, am I the only one who feels quite a Christmassy mood?
You've been ordering Christmas presents. That's
Yeah, I ordered your Christmas Eve present.
Albon!
Albon is 1.4 seconds faster than his own best lap time.
Please, got us 007.
Come on. Come on, just give us this as the birds fly away from Sainz.
Don't attack the birds.
Just let me get my camera on. Hold on.
It's all we want. Just one. Just give us this. Albon's middle sector time is looking great. Fingers crossed, eh? It's not going to be too bad and too worse as they come through middle sectors. Albon's down. Alonso and Piastri's fastest. Russell fastest in sector 2. Across the
track's
line.
ramping up.
Here comes George Russell. Oh, hang on a minute. Albon's boxed. Albon's come in. What was that for?
Is he going for fresh softs?
It could be. That's the question. I wouldn't put it against it. Here comes Russell.
He might need to change his tyres.
Russell, one. Russell goes fastest. Russell to the top.
Don't think it's for long.
He's taking it quicker again. Leclerc. Russell Leclerc. Norris. 1:12.049. Piastri. P2. What about Max Verstappen? Homeboy. What can he do? Coming out of the last corner. He doesn't like the Red Bull, the moment with the rear grip. He's only 3rd.
Yes.
1-2 McLaren in genuine pace on run 1.
Alonso's fastest to walk through the first sector.
And there's a yellow flag. Sector 11.
Oh, please.
Yellow.
Leclerc. Maybe Leclerc.
Yes.
No, he's moving.
It's not Alonso. It is Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's in the gravel.
Yeah, he's moving now. He's moving.
Yeah, don't give us a red flag. Alonso,
not anymore.
no, he's hit the wall. Red flag again. Red flag.
Jess is right. Jess is right.
Jess has got it spot on that Leclerc would cause a red flag.
I predicted it wrong because I said the first yellow flag was going to be Charles Leclerc.
But
well, you still got it right that he caused a red.
You did, Jess.
All right.
Jess, just accept it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Take the validation.
Huge accident.
Because Charles Leclerc's out.
And look, virtual advertising barrier shown up there on F1 TV.
Well, I guess I can go back to reading.
Charles Leclerc hits the wall coming out of turn 9 at the Renault corner. Takes the advertising boards with him, damages the front right suspension.
What
front
does he
left
have
on this side.
against?
Gets on the grass, Megan, and just hits the wall. Aquaplaned into it.
Oh.
That's a big hit for the Ferrari.
That's a big shot.
Against cruisers.
Let's hear from him.
You okay?
Yeah, I am.
Did I tell you he was going to hit the wall?
Watch there.
You did. Such
You
an
see?
annoyance.
Oh, the wheel's completely broken off.
The tether's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's unusual. So, stop the clock again.
How many red flags
mad.
have we seen this weekend in F1, F2, British Touring Cars?
A lot.
We're going to see some red flags in IndyCar as well. I'm calling it now.
We'll see a lot. Right.
I'm honestly not mad because now my Wi-Fi's finally surviving. The rain's kind of stopping, and now we've got a red flag.
Your fault, though, Omi. You've got a Ferrari shirt
Yeah,
on.
your fault, Omi. You've jinxed it.
Well, actually, if I'm an Alex Jakes fan, I want to get Alex Jakes to shout, so I'm giving him reasons to shout. So, I guess it works.
Right. Sainz coming back into the pit lane as the sole Ferrari. There's Frederick Vasseur watching on. So it's Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, the top five. He will take no further part in this session. Perez, Albon, Sargent, Alonso and Sainz. Dangerous from Albon, actually, to abandon that lap time because he hasn't got to run on the dry. So he's going to go for another set of slicks. And he
Same with
has.
Alonso, Sargent and Sainz.
Yeah. Really strange session. Really bizarre.
Every session has been strange today, okay?
We can't. It's just that we just want something quiet and peaceful. It's just not happening, is it?
That's tomorrow. Just that's tomorrow in the race.
No, there'll be some sort of drama. I can just.
There'll be
sense it
some
coming.
sort of drama. Just you wait.
Well, there's no guarantee of that, is there? Rains
Wow.
in the feeder series, and then just fully stops. Fully stops by the time we get to F1. Maybe a little sprinkle, but yeah.
It is starting to get sunnier now, to be fair.
I don't want anything to go wrong in the F2 feature, thank you, because oh no, it's the Porsches. Never mind. It's the Porsches we need to have super clear because we've got to get over to. Let's go back to Bernie Collins actually.
Quickly possible, but it would need to be, I think, a reasonably quick cool down lap and a reasonably quick out lap. And particularly with the 8 of them lined up at the end of the pit lane, it would be a struggle. So it's potentially going to be just try and get one lap on the board. As well as that, at the moment, with all the red flags, it'd be very hard to say you're going to warm up and then push right at the end because there might be in a bit of trouble. So I think you'd just be trying to get as quickly on the board as you can and then work it from there.
We'll see once more what happened to Charles Leclerc. As I say, this corner just gets tight and tight and tight. And he just knew he wasn't going to make it. Tried to then run out wide, but there was no runoff area for him. 2 minutes to go.
And Jess, weren't you the one who told us earlier on that Leclerc's got a new gearbox today? He's last of the season.
Yes.
So he could already lose that today.
So he could start the back of the grid tomorrow.
Great.
Q3 will resume at 21 minutes past 3 UK time.
So just a moment then as well. There's some rain coming in as well, by the way, for IndyCar, like huge
Ah.
rain. So
There's rain everywhere.
practice might not happen, and neither might qualifying. So yeah. So yeah, not too great.
Porsche Supercup's going to be delayed then.
No, that's it. Indy. We're fine. Oh wait,
No, I
yeah,
mean
yes.
because F1's delayed, Porsche Supercup will be delayed.
Oh, I didn't think of that. You're right. Oh, it's going to get confusing now, isn't it? All this.
Literally every session has been delayed today.
Can't work out a single thing to come through. IndyCar have announced a 9-position starting penalty for the entries of number 3 Team Penske, that's Scott McLaughlin, number 9 and number 11 Chip Ganassi Racing, that's Scott Dixon and who's 11? Marcus Armstrong, I think. And the 27 Andretti Autosport and the number 78 Juncos Honda Racing for unapproved engine changes. So there's penalties coming through on the board there.
Penalties everywhere.
Chances, by the way, of F1 happening, IndyCar happening, are looking a bit slim.
0.
So that's going to be great. We'll keep an eye out. We won't go live, obviously, until we get a confirmation.
You would get a break. Oh me.
Oh yeah. We won't go live for practice, by the way, until we get confirmation of a start time for the session.
Well, Jess, I don't actually know about that because Chronicles I'm gonna do, then I'm gonna run over to EERC whenever I can, then I've got to record the
Wait,
LX7.
is it EERC this weekend?
Yeah. Then I got to do it's at Mugello. Then I got to go do LX7 and then IndyCar. So
LX7?
I told you about it yesterday, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
From what I know, apparently that was a wet race. That's all I've been told. The rest is a surprise. So more wet.
Here we go then. Time to restart. Hopefully for the last time. Green light's going to be coming on soon. In fact, it should have already gone on, and it has gone on a little bit later than planned.
I've just finished a chapter, so that's lucky.
Thing is, though, nobody's actually heading out there onto the circuit. That surprised me a little bit. I thought they might.
Perez is now.
There they are.
It's cold because of the rain.
It is cold.
We haven't actually had a summer at all.
No, we haven't. You're right there. So, Perez, Albon.
It's that like windy.
Heading out to the circuit right now. Green light's gone on. Hour and 35 minutes we've been on there. Hour and 21 this qualifying session's gone on for. So red flags have cost us 21 extra minutes of running. Maybe at the end of this 25. Megan?
Sleepy.
Right.
I'm going to watch those at Christmas Day.
It's not even September yet.
I know.
It's nearly September though.
But it's less than 4 months until Christmas. And even less time than that until we get to sing songs. And then you lot won't get shouted at when you accidentally sing one.
Ding dong.
I shout at them. I shout at them because I think it's bad luck.
Well, it is, but not if you're filming a Christmas special for anything.
Apparently. And then again, actors.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of problems
I
with them.
don't know. Look, here comes Verstappen out there on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. Just stick to the F1. Wet pit lane, of course, so you'll keep that shine on them. The undercoating of the brake tyre. There goes Sainz coming out there. A lot of whistles for Max Verstappen out on the circuit. So they'll have, I think, what, one push lap? They'll do an out lap, another warm-up lap, and then a flying lap. It's going to be a lot of questions to ask. But the track is dry, DRS enabled. It feels like a normal day at the beach now here at Zandvoort. I wonder, will we get a clean finish, or will Norris have pole position number 2 of his Formula 1 career? Piastri on the front row of the grid. There is Charles Leclerc, reduced to spectator.
He's doing a Fernando.
He's in the deck chair. Give us a wave, Charles. Come on. No.
He's too depressed.
He's not interested.
No, he's
We saw Derula doing it yesterday, didn't we? Or one of
Yes.
them.
Yeah. Any news on touring car, by the way, Jess?
Pardon? They've got 1 minute of the Porsche left, and I think they've got one more series left to go, so I think it's still about half an hour delay, but I'll keep you updated.
No worries. Perez flying through on the inside to the last couple of corners. This is his first lap, but it's more of a warm-up lap to get the sheen off the tyres in these mixed conditions. The sheen could act as a slippery surface. They need to make sure the tyres are properly warmed up, properly heated up, and gone through the cycles. Max Verstappen, though, starts a flying lap time down towards turn 1. This will be his last run because he's got no other time to get round. So Piastri starts 1-2, then will Norris. It'll be Russell who'll be the last driver to set a lap time in this session. Remember, Sargent will play no further part, neither will Charles Leclerc. So only 8 cars left of the 10 that started, and Max is pushing. First sector time. Is he faster? Yes, 24.324. He is a whopping 7.5 tenths faster than Lando Norris.
Max, just go home now.
Max is flying.
3 tenths faster than Piastri in his first sector now.
But Norris is 8 tenths. Norris is a 10.5 faster than Max is. Norris is still finding the time. It's not over yet. Checkered flag out.
It's not over.
There's Verstappen. Second sector, up by a second. Watch Lando's second sector time. 49.906 is his. Piastri's up by 2 tenths. Lando is up by... Oh, he's only 7 tenths, but he's still faster here. Lando's been down in the second sector. 3, 2, 1. It'll be the Dutch line across the line. Is it pole? It's pole by 1.4 seconds.
Wow.
Max Verstappen at 1:10.567. It's not over. Piastri across the line. He stays second. What about Lando Norris? For his second double pole. Lando across the line. He's 2 tenths down. And he's second.
That's later.
Verstappen nearly had. And Perez takes Piastri. 1:11.882. Perez goes third.
Albon.
Alexander Albon could still do something here. Albon out of the last corner. Alonso goes third. 1:11.506. Can Albon snatch a front row for Williams? No, but it's a career best third in a Williams. A 1:11.419. What Russell rubs salt in the wound. Where does he go? He does! He puts his former team down. Russell starts third. I know.
Good job, Williams, though. P4.
Albon will be alongside him on the front row of the second row of the grid. But the front row, once again, for the 29th time, it's Max Verstappen who gets the roar from the Dutchies. And he wins pole. And can he win for the third time tomorrow?
That is pole position. Wow, 6 cents.
What a lap. Great job, guys. That was a good return from the holidays.
I hope the police pull you over.
So that was a mighty lap. Mighty lap in those conditions. Well done, mate. Well done, mate.
Verstappen's actually forgotten where to go. He's going to the pit lane. He should have gone onto the grid, so he's made a little bit of a mistake there.
I got the wrong Mercedes in the top 3. Otherwise, I would have been perfect.
Lando did good to do second, though really slowing down in the second sector.
That's what cost him. Lando was fastest in the first sector. Verstappen at 32.2. Norris 31.7. Second sector, Verstappen 29.3. Second sector for Norris 30.7. And then third sector, Verstappen 37.1. Second sector, third sector for Norris 36.3. So
what happened? What happened to him?
Max shouldn't be on pole. By those sector times, Lando's way faster.
I hope it turns out
oh, no, here we go,
times
look.
are wrong.
Here we go, look, they are wrong. These are the correct ones we're showing you now on the TV screens. Look at Verstappen and Norris first sector. These are the actual first sector times. So Verstappen first sector, 24.3. Norris 24.2. Second sector, Verstappen 24.5, Norris 24.8. Third sector, Verstappen 21.7, Norris 21.9. So we lost time in sectors 2 and 3 compared to Verstappen on that time, and that's why it's 0.537 difference. You're seeing it on the TV pictures now.
I'm going to go.
All right, bye-bye, Megan.
Bye, Megan.
Goodbye. As it comes through. Nice session. Lando gets weighed in. Front row, Verstappen v Norris as well, Omi. Just what we like to see. And George Russell in third place. I know some people find him annoying, but there's nothing at all that he can do wrong in this qualifying. Outperformed Hamilton by 10 places on the grid.
Absolutely he did, and he needed that one after being absolutely beaten by Hamilton in the last few rounds. He'll be happy with that one, but Norris, yeah, he's going to have the inside line going into turn number 1, so he might barge Verstappen out of the way, which will make, hopefully, the race a bit fun tomorrow, but we're going to have to see what even happens. Are we going to get a standing start? What's the weather going to be like? If it's dry, then I think Norris will probably dive to the inside, but look, that's what happened when they opened DRS, and Red Bull Verstappen was just a bit more clear when he actually pushed properly without any mistakes.
Here's David Coulthard then with the top 3 interviews down there in Parc Fermé. Max Verstappen, pole position number 29 of his Formula 1 career.
Top 3 to talk to DC
Max
now.
Verstappen, pole position. There was a little bit of everything in that qualifying session, but in the end, a very impressive full half a second quicker than the second man.
Yeah, it was very tricky qualifying, starting of course with the intermediates, but also the track surface is quite slippery, the new tarmac. So yeah, it was all about putting your laps in, but also staying out of trouble. I think we managed that quite well, but then also at the end, when we could go on to the slick tires again, it was like one dry line in some places, and yeah, we had to risk it a bit, but that last lap was very enjoyable.
Yeah, the management between yourself and the race team there, getting you out on track. The only time it looked like a questionable decision was you went out on the intermediate when the track was just starting to dry and others had gone out on slicks. We heard you on team radio questioning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've been to some other places already where we've had wet races and stuff, and I think this was the first time we came here with, you know, this kind of conditions. So I think we underestimated maybe a little bit with the wind as well, and then the sun coming out, how quickly it dried. So it's again all about experience and lessons you take forward, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. We still did the right thing.
We're obviously in your home country, a lot of support here. You've delivered stage 1, which is the pole position. It's been another fantastic crowd.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is always there to perform, but when you can pull it off, it's incredible.
Max, congratulations on pole position.
Thank you.
And the man that's been pushing Max all weekend, it really did look like you had a chance in these changeable conditions. Second is still a great result for you.
Yeah, thank you. Good, yeah, no, I'm happy still. P2 was a good result, I guess, in these kind of conditions. every now and then you hope Max makes a mistake and he doesn't. So frustrating in a little way, but I'm very happy. The team done a good job. Was chaotic qualifying, but another P2, so good.
Yeah, you mentioned the conditions. It's really challenging when you know as the clock ticks down, you want to be one of the last across the line.
Yeah.
So how stressful is a changing weather condition qualifying like that?
Qualifying is always stressful, no matter what the conditions, but definitely now it's definitely trickier. Like the first half of the lap was mega, but the second half of the lap was probably one of the worst second halves that I've done. So it peaked very early on, but it's tough, but I really enjoy these conditions. I've always enjoyed the conditions. It's when we do well, so I'm taking a P2 still.
When you say it peaked very early in your lap, was that the tyres peaked or the driver peaked?
The driver. Tyres are good to the end. The driver peaked very early, so I got a bit of work to do. Just not the most comfortable, but good enough, so I'll take it.
Yeah, great P2. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And finally, our third place man, you kept us waiting right until the very end to pop that third place in. That was a tricky session, but you must be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great session. Happy to be here in P3. Quali was one of my strengths at the start of the year, and it's just been going a little bit wrong recently. So it was good to have that break. Came in with a fresh set of ideas, good reset, and we're in a great place tomorrow to fight for a podium.
We heard Lando say there that he's owning the fact that he peaked too early in the lap. How was your lap overall?
Yeah, but that was okay, to be honest. It was. We know we always struggle when it's either very wet or it's the crossover onto slicks when we've got to get that temperature into the tyres. But we know the Saturday weakness is the strength on Sundays. So it's going to be an exciting race. I'm sure Max will be having his Sunday drive and waving to the crowd on his way tomorrow. But hopefully we can have a good fight with Alex, Lando, and the rest of the guys.
You mentioned Alex there. The Williams has been incredibly strong, but are you really looking one place back rather than one place forward?
Yeah, I'm really happy for Williams and Alex. I said before the session, I saw the guys on the pit wall looking pretty happy with their performance. And I flew over here with Alex, and I said, "What are your expectations for the weekend?" He says, "I think we're going to be rubbish." So he got that one slightly wrong. But as I said, really well done to Max, but also to Alex and Williams.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your third place. We'll see how the race goes tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
It's the confirmation then of the results from qualifying. It is Max Verstappen on pole position. Lando Norris starts second, and then George Russell is third on the grid. Fourth for Alexander Albon. Fernando Alonso is fifth. Carlos Sainz is sixth. Sergio Perez seventh. Oscar Piastri eighth. Charles Leclerc ninth, and Logan Sargent in 10th position. The latter two crashing out early on in Q3. Further down, 11th for Lance Stroll. Gasly is 12th. Hamilton 13th. Tsunoda 14th, Hulkenberg 15th, 16th for Zhou, 17th Ocon, 18th Magnussen, 19th Bottas, and Liam Lawson starts 20th on the grid. Okay, let's get the thoughts then of Omi and Jess in just a second as well. Jess, starting with you, what did you make of qualifying? And you're going off now to do touring car quali.
Well, I think qualifying was good for Lando and Alex as well. George, well, I was disappointed in FP2, but delivered in when it counts in quali, so I was very happy for him. It's delayed quali, so I'm not going to be joining quali yet, but I'm excited about what the race can offer tomorrow. I think I agree with George that Max will flow away into the sunset, but the gap behind Verstappen, I think, is going to be exciting to watch.
It's going to be a very interesting session, Amy, as well, and can Norris jump Verstappen on the line? We've seen it done before this year, most notably at Silverstone. The last time they lined up alongside each other, Norris took the lead ahead of Max.
I mean, absolutely, it is possible. Norris is just going to have to get his elbows out a tiny bit. If he can just pull alongside to the inside line, go wheel to wheel, Verstappen's going to come over to the inside to try and block him off, squeeze him to the pit wall. Then Norris has just got to try go wide, take Verstappen wide with him, and make sure Verstappen doesn't do the cut back as well. So he's got to just he's just got to play it right, and then possibly, I think, obviously, he's not really going to put up a fight though. If Verstappen comes at him in a few laps, he will probably just let him go. But maybe if there was some other driver that would fight a tiny bit more, like possibly Russell. So yeah, it doesn't really depend, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Verstappen and Norris get a bad start. Maybe Russell can possibly get involved, or if Norris pushes Verstappen out wide and Russell goes to the inside. A lot of possibilities, that's all I'll say. I'm not waffling, but yeah, it's going to be a great race tomorrow.
Really is, and we'll be live with you throughout the day. Coming up then on JB Motorsports, we've got a possible issue with the IndyCar, so we won't go live until the session is actually being told we're going green. So just stand by on the stream for that. Next up, it's Porsche Super Cup, their first race of the weekend, of the double, one tomorrow morning as well, and Jess has all the action for the British Touring Car qualifying coming up as well. In terms of tomorrow, you can join us for F2, Porsches, then the F1 alongside touring cars and the IndyCar Bob Morado Automotive Group 500. Took us a while to get there, but it is Max Verstappen on home soil on top dollar bill, just followed by the McLarens as well. Orange v orange versus papaya. What's going to happen tomorrow? We'll see all the action from the Dutch Grand Prix on air at 1 o'clock, lights out at 2. Thanks for your company. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.